When something goes viral, you beat it into the ground until there's nothing left to beat but a dead horse. That's how media companies work, and we can see that with our very own eyes. When Marvel's Avengers took off, suddenly the only kind of movie anyone wanted to see was a superhero movie. And the same happens with Star Wars. Recently, the biggest viral thing to come out of Star Wars is the era of the High Republic, with many comics, novels, and series, such as the Young Jedi Adventures and the upcoming Acolyte TV series taking place here. Even Cal Cestis ran into the High Republic during his latest adventure, but now it seems that the latest media frenzy is all about live-action adaptations.
Only one chosen warrior.
Iron Fist Tournament.
For years, live-action adaptations were something you watched to punish yourself. Same with movies based on video game series. But the Mario movie broke the video game curse and has brought us rumors of the Legend of Zelda movie.
And I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
And just like that, One Piece broke the curse of live-action adaptations, and now everybody and their mother are making them. And finally, someone has decided to give Naruto a run for its money, and the question is, will this be any good? Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you're subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Live-action adaptations have become the latest fad in storytelling. Media companies are obsessed with retelling old stories through new mediums. We saw this for a long time, but the formula didn't seem to be perfected until One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, and the Avatar live-action series. And while many different reviewers claim that Avatar sucked, having watched it myself, I don't think that they were accurate. Avatar is actually really good and a lot of fun, and I can't be the only one thinking that, because Avatar: The Last Airbender actually surpassed One Piece in debut view numbers. Where the One Piece adaptation received 18.5 million viewers and 140.1 million hours of watch time in its opening week, Avatar received 21.2 million viewers and 153.4 million hours of watch time, quickly jumping into Netflix's top 10 most viewed series. And it seems that this fire, despite critics' claims that the series sucked, has begun to spread and pump excitement deeper into the live-action adaptation community. It's no surprise that people want in on it, and it seems that Naruto won't be left out for much longer. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Naruto is headed to the big screen, with the director of the Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings movie, Destin Daniel Cretton, being set to both write and direct. This is no surprise given how many anime references were seeded into Shang-Chi. That's one of the reasons why Shang-Chi is still one of my favorite Marvel movies since Thor Ragnarok. The film is set to be adapted for Lionsgate. Destin Daniel Cretton even received praise from the series creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, for his works in the past, and received his blessing on a visit to Japan. Masashi Kishimoto has commented on this movie's creation, as well as Cretton himself, by saying this: "When I heard of Destin's attachment, it happened to be right after watching a blockbuster action film of his, and I thought he would be the perfect director for Naruto. After enjoying his other films and understanding that his forte is in creating solid dramas about people, I became convinced that there is no other director for Naruto. In actually meeting Destin, I also found him to be an open-minded director who was willing to embrace my input and felt strongly that we would be able to cooperate together in the production process." With even the author of the long-running Naruto franchise offering his blessing and expressing his excitement about the adaptation, fans everywhere are excited about this new movie. Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Adam Fogelson commented on the movie's production, saying, "This manga classic is beloved by millions of fans all around the world, and Destin has delivered a vision for the movie that we believe will excite that massive fan base as well as those who are new to it." Avi Arad is famous for Marvel films and live-action adaptations such as The Ghost in the Shell, and I have had the pleasure of working together before, and I know that as we collaborate with Destin and the team on Naruto, we are in extraordinary hands. This film is to be produced by Cretton and Jayon Munford through his company Hisako. Arad Productions is also backing the film's creation. The live-action Naruto movie has been in concept since 2015, but has remained in development hell for nearly 9 years, until the recent successes of live-action adaptations injecting interest into the project. Cretton being signed on to write and direct the film marks a large leap forward and offers promising results coming our way. Cretton's ability to make an interesting action flick with plenty of drama is not under any dispute, as he has not only directed Shang-Chi, but also was one of the directors and the producer behind American-Born Chinese, a Disney Plus adaptation to the novel of the same name by Gene Luen Yang. The important thing to remember, though, is that just because these other live-action adaptations worked, it doesn't necessarily mean that this one will be good. While Cretton's work can speak for itself, there are a few pitfalls he'll have to avoid to keep from turning the fanbase against him. I will list those possible issues.
I'm doing it! I'm doing it!
This is one of the biggest issues with live-action adaptations. Oftentimes, when a film company attempts to adapt a series into a movie, they change the story, most of the time for the worse. One such example being the infamous Dragon Ball Evolution, which even Akira Toriyama blasted, saying that its creators obviously did not understand the series' characteristics when the film was created, that they disregarded his opinions entirely in favor of making what they wanted to see. While it's natural to assume that people who come to see the movie want to see a new story with new elements, so you can contribute to the intellectual property you love so much, it's important to realize that most fans don't want the movie to completely change the characters, abilities, or experience itself, and this oftentimes leads the movie to performing poorly among fans. Such things are what gave live-action adaptations a bad name in the first place, and led to this scar which we are now only beginning to break through. Being too true to the source material. This seems counterintuitive and contradictory to the point above, but this is also a developmental pitfall to watch out for. Not everything in a series is popular, and not everything is needed. What is best is finding the middle ground and realizing that it's important to tell the story and remain true to it, but we don't need filler and we don't need intricate details explaining things that we're already familiar with. Another thing to watch out for when adapting fantastical series, such as those found in anime and manga, is that oftentimes the abilities used can seem too weird when done with live-action actors. Anime is good because it looks impressive, but it's important to realize that not everything done in anime looks as awesome in real life. This was one of the things that made me afraid when I first heard about the live-action One Piece series. I was worried how they would portray the devil fruit powers of Luffy and Buggy, though I was pleasantly surprised. Thankfully, Naruto isn't a series with too many powers that would look too ugly on screen, so this pitfall seems to be easier to avoid if the director truly has an understanding and love for Naruto like we do. Refusing advice from the author. One of the things that really made Dragon Ball Evolution such a box office bomb was the fact that they refused to pay attention to what Akira Toriyama felt was important. By refusing to listen to what he wanted, they dug themselves into a hole with no way out, ensuring that the movie would fail. This was a fear for the Avatar live-action series, which we believed would lead to the series' destruction when Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko left production of the series after creative differences. They believed that their view of Avatar was not compatible with what the studio's view was, and that likely resulted in some of the many issues fans had with the series, such as Sokka's character change. If Cretton truly does pay attention to Kishimoto's wishes, as Kishimoto himself is adamant he will do, we can possibly avoid this pitfall. Overly condensing the series. Something that happens when one attempts to make a live-action adaptation of a series is that they try to condense the story down so that people can get a full experience without needing to sit there for 10 or 20 hours. But the issue with this is that so many wonderful parts of the story must either be skipped or combined. I'm still critical of the live-action Avatar series handling of Omashu, which really seemed to ruin some of the greater moments of Avatar's Book of Water by condensing it all down into Omashu or cutting it entirely. I mean, I understand that you need to cut some stuff out, but if you must cut, then cut. Don't try to condense it all into a single episode. And if you need to tell those stories, then extend the series a bit to make it fit. This is what has me worried about the live-action Naruto adaptation. It appears to be a feature film that will be released in theaters, as opposed to being released as a series over a streaming service like Netflix. A movie can only go on for so long, and they'd be attempting to take a series longer and more complex than Avatar, and condensing it down into half the time of the Avatar series, or perhaps even less. If I were to offer any advice for this series, I would say that if they want to do it right, then they need to be willing to actually do it right. They can't rush it, they can't change everything, and they can't throw out Kishimoto's input. They need to be faithful to the series and make the series for fans, by fans. So if Cretton is going to do this, he'd better do his homework homework and ensure that he knows every last detail and intricacy to Naruto. Casting needs to be good, which is often hard when the main characters require child actors. I would recommend that they make it a series released on a streaming site such as Netflix, as this will make it more available for most people. And if released as a series, it gives them time to make the season as long as they need without worrying that they'll trap their audience in theaters until Kingdom Come. And if it is in a series, it'll allow them to tell the series much slower as well, and get in all the details that people love without having to cut out too much. It might cost a little more to do and require deeper pockets to produce, but if it's done right, then they will get payback not only in their ratings, but in their reputation, which will make more series authors want adaptations by them and ensure that the people who are fans of the series actually look forward to them and want to see them. Hype is always low when it comes to controversial media like this, but if they do it right the first time, the next time they make one, people will go bonkers for it. It'll go viral. I can promise you that when One Piece Season 2 is announced, it'll be all that anyone talks about for months until it actually drops. But that's just my 2 cents. What about you? Are you excited about the new Naruto live-action adaptation? Or are you terrified of how they're going to butcher our favorite gutsy ninja? Me? I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not setting the bar too low, but I'm also not expecting it to be the #1 movie in the world, if you know what I mean. Anyway, leave a comment below to let us know what you think, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when more videos like this drop. And if you're hungry for more, feel free to watch one of these videos from our library. Enjoy! Until next time, peace out.